temperate forests. Below the vegetation, among the stones and the streams, creatures pool in diversified walks of life. In this ecosystem, the synergy of nature's forces fuel the cycle of the forest growth. The flexibility of the community as a whole provides balance for the environment and comfortable prosperity for its followers. While there are those organisms that will perish, their sacrifice yields more and healthier young from those who have helped continue the cycle. Ponds are the ideal competitive grounds for the organisms, aquatic or not, that can effectively hold their niche. And there is one such organism that has a truly notorious reputation for the quickest and slyest means of hunting, and is a true assassin in the zoological world. Somewhere in some cavity on the shore of the pond is a stealthy, live hunter, waiting to uncoil for what's drawn to the waterfront. Snakes. They are able to flourish in the most competitive ecosystems. Their adept use of camouflage limits what is able to find them, while the natural terror they inspire limits what dares to hunt them. In the area, there are many species of snake, but on the pond there is one that dominates. The Nerodeocipton or northern water snake can grow up to 4 feet long. It wouldn't attack humans, but it is able to effectively stalk and consume anything it can fit its jaws around. The water snakes are in a family of serpents called Colubridae. Being in this family means that the northern water snake is classified as typical and is considered harmless, given that it's not disturbed. These snakes employ dark scales ranging in color from browns to grays, always with leopard-like blotches across their bodies. As good as it is when hunting prey, this pattern matches their lake bed dens and murky hunting grounds, keeping the hunter from falling prey to killers such as birds and mammals. Not that it lives unarmed. When attacked, the water snake can bite, but it can also excrete a strong odor, making them largely undesirable. Northern water snakes generally choose to settle for wetlands, by lakes, rivers, marshes and canals. Sometimes they would also take up residence in the abandoned domiciles of smaller mammals and even in hollowed logs. This specific snake has chosen my overturned boat as his home, but any dark shelter is hospitable to sleeping reptiles, and for the water snake, just as long as it's by their freshwater prey. Most of what lives in the pond, with the exception of the turtles, which are the snake's foremost competitor, is fair game. Fish and amphibians, worms, leeches, small birds, and tiny mammals all fall to the typical northern water snake. The serpent's bite festers with an anticoagulant capable of bleeding its prey to death. Luckily, the bacterial saliva is not dangerous to humans. They are day hunters, the water snakes, though at night, when the fish are asleep, the serpent will enter the pond to prey upon the minnows and guppies that rest vulnerable in the shallow ends. When the northern water snake is not eating, it's possibly basking or mating. This species, unlike most other snakes, to live offsprings, storing their young in their bodies for months until delivery, and after that, the children are immediately set free. These snakes couple around this time, in spring, from April on through June, But since I have no footage of two water snakes continuing their species, I'm just going to end on this note.